Okay, so it's April 24th of 2024. I don't know, I was writing 2023 in here. Where is it? Anyway, I don't know what this doctor did to my eyes, people, but I'm hooped. I am so hooped. See, I had to correct it. Anyway, I was stuck in the past. I don't know. I wish I was in 2023. I seen better. I don't know what this doctor did with this cataract lens, but like seriously, man, he ruined my eye. Yeah, I'm going blinder faster and faster. Like it's pathetic. Anyway, trying not to get discouraged here. So I'm pretty much done dehydrating this stuff, to which I could see better when I first started for whatever reason. But besides that point, I just put down raw shoestrings, raw potato fries, raw hash browns, and then there's more raw shoestrings. I did not bake any of these in the oven for any amount of time before I dehydrated them. They went directly into the dehydrator. Okay? And technically, the dehydrator would not have, quote-unquote, cooked them. No. And I did put them, when they were, like, mostly dry or whatever, I did end up putting them on paper towel and then just kind of gave it a little longer so that if there was any residue oil, because, you know, it's a McCain French fries, the paper towel would absorb a little bit of it, I would assume. So either or, not sure how I'm going to cook with them yet. I will figure that out. But right now I'm just putting things away. But before I put them away, I'm going to leave them in the bags. And I just wanted to show you that for, I guess you could say, for what it was worth in terms of convenience, so far, you know, it was okay, right? And then we've got the sweet potato yams. These are mine, which turned out okay. I have two more trays, basically, of a few more of these that will go in this bag when it's done. And then we've got the McCain sweet potato, which I already gave a couple to, this is the other type of sweet potato. Technically, these orange ones are kind of called yams, right? Where the ones that are kind of white with the white flesh are more like the sweet potato, but either or. I did give Kyrie and Alea May a nibble on these yesterday when they were here. They ate them, right, Andre? They ate the sweet potatoes, right? Yeah, they liked it. So as long as they liked it, then you know I'm on the right track, okay? If a little 2-year-old likes it, and a little 5-year-old likes it, Andre doesn't like them. I don't mind them. I like them. Eat as is, and after they fully, completely cool, they do tend to get crunchier if you dry them long enough. See? Some more so than others. But they're pretty good. So, I'd probably do these again. Yeah, see? For the most part. And the babies ate it. I told them, if it's too hard to crunch into it, just suck on it like a candy. And it starts to soften up. Right? Or where it's gummy. Like this one's a little gummy in this part of it. Just let it stay in your mouth, and your saliva and everything, the warmth of your mouth softens it up. And then it becomes like candy. And it's nutritional for them. Just the first time you dehydrate them, put them either on a cotton cloth to absorb the oil that comes in with these through the packaging or paper towel. They're good. I like them. So I'm going to get a jar of some kind at some point, or some kind of container, for at least one bag. I have 2 in here. I don't know if these things are still on sale. Honestly, I should see. I really should. Now that I know that the kids like them, I should honestly see if they're still on sale. And maybe try and squeeze it in and buy 10 more bags. Right? Because they're taking off like $1.50 a bag or something when I bought them. And then, but I'm getting tired of dehydrating. Right? That's my problem. And I still have to do the cheese. I was going to do the cheese. But I might attempt to see if I can pick up 10 more bags, which goes to about that much after it's all said and done and dehydrated. And then I really don't have to dehydrate for a few months. Right? And that's a really great snack for the kids. Well, for the little ones. And me. And easy enough to cook up for Amari. Right? So, I don't know. I have to think about that. Hold on. Okay, people. I know I'm beautiful. I'm a beautiful workhorse. Isn't that how a horse sounds? Anyway, all right, April 25th of 2024. I'm bagged. But I'm just going to just keep on pumping out these videos, be YouTube's bitch, right? Because it's pissing off my son. Yeah. Got into another freaking hollering match with him through the window. Like, what the hell? I told him, like, go away. Stop being a freaking drama king, man. Like, you know, like, it's obnoxious already. He's all freaked out because I won't let Andre go downstairs and eat his food when he calls him down for dinner, right? And I'm like, well, you kind of brought that on yourself because you're not being a positive role model when you're teaching Andre that it's okay to go off and pillage other people's belongings and throw them in the garbage and, you know, give them to other people and just walk off with them. That's like stealing. Like, you know, I don't want him to think that he can grow up, go hang out with a band of kids, teenagers, adults as he's growing, right? And they're running around in the neighborhood robbing other people's houses, and they're just bringing along Andre just for the fun of bringing him along. He's not stealing, he's just watching, right? And then they go and they hide out in their house, and, you know, they give the goods away, they throw out what they don't want, they sell what they can, and they go and they eat a hamburger now, and they give Andre a hamburger, and he's sitting there watching all this stuff, learning this kind of behavior, eating the hamburger. And then the next time they want to go off and do it, they'll say, well, look, you know, Andre, come on, we're going to go so we can make some money to go buy some more hamburgers. Are you hungry? Do you want a hamburger? All Andre's thinking about is the hamburger. He's not thinking about the petty crime, if you want to call it that, you know, hanging out with a bunch of hoodlums, right? Going around being whatever in the community just so he can eat a hamburger. That's where I'm saying, like, no. You can do for yourself. You have to find a way to do for yourself and not let other people use food, games, drugs, anything as a means to entice you to go off and do something that you know inside with your spidey senses, with that little angel on your shoulder whispering in your ear that it's wrong. And you have to walk away from the hamburger even if you're hungry and you want it. That's the lesson I'm trying to teach you here, because if you can't learn it here in the house and fully understand what it is that you're learning, and be able to kind of stand your ground, which, you know, it's like anything, practice makes perfect, right? You know what I mean? Then when he's older and when Uncle Marcane's not around to protect him and I'm not around to protect him, or Tisha, you know, he's out and about and, you know, he gets sucked into some bad crowd, an occult, anything. It could be anything. A freaking gang, you know? And he'll know how to walk away, people. Because his inner self will say it's wrong. And Nana taught me how to do for myself. If I want a hamburger, I'll find a way to go get that hamburger in the right kind of way for myself, even if it means I have to cook it by myself and go hungry for a day or so or two because somebody's offering me a hamburger. And I mean, it'd be very easy to eat the hamburger, but, you know, at what cost if you're caught up with drama that isn't healthy, right? I tried to explain this to my son. I told him if this was Brooks running around doing this stupid crap like you, with, you know, Marina, no, there would be, Brooks be gone by now. Like, what makes you so special? What makes you think you can do the things that my other kids couldn't do? For crying out loud, people, Sierra was homeless for 8 fucking years for stealing little petty things around the house and all this shit. I mean, obviously there was more involved because we were being held hostage with Andre. It was either choose Andre or choose Sierra. And when Andre came home, it was very hard to have her in the house, especially when she was stealing. But even then, the kids downstairs gave her chances more than once. They let her stay in the living room, but they got tired of going into the freaking kitchen and finding her slumped on the floor from, you know, injecting heroin and passing out. And they, you know, we're calling 911. Or she get in the bathroom, in the bathtub, and we're calling 911. Eventually they said, you got to go. But then she came back because she had no place to go. And it was freezing cold outside. I go downstairs, get in, you know, walk in through the laundry room. There's Sierra in the laundry room. I'm asking Tisha, Marcane, and Tisha, what's going on? They said, you know, Sierra's in the garage freezing her ass off at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning as the kids are going to school, going to work, or whatever. And they agreed among themselves to let their sister stay in the freaking laundry room, for crying out loud. So she was even living in her laundry room, trying to help her. I mean, they tried it in the living room, but it didn't work. They got too stressed out with wondering if she was dead every time they'd walk out of their fucking bedroom. Sorry, boo-boo bedrooms. Right? Weather warmed up or whatever. Okay, go away. She kept coming, right? Whatever. You know, she used to go through a yard, steal stuff, right? One time I was with Andre. I'm pretty sure I freaking recorded it, people. Driving down the road, watching her push a shopping cart, literally, full of my stuff that she took from the yard to take it to somebody else's house that was buying hot goods to give her either dope or money to, you know, they were either giving her dope or they were giving her money to go buy dope. And I'm like, bang, bang, bang on the door saying, give me back my stupid shit. Stop enabling my daughter to do this. And I did. I got back my stuff. It didn't stop Sierra from doing what Sierra was doing, though, because, you know, she was basically homeless. Because the girl, you know, her living in the laundry room was only lasted for the winter, I guess you could say. As soon as the weather warmed up and, you know, it was like, they got tired of it, people. You think that all just happened by itself? No, it was a progression. She came into contact with bad people when she was 13 years old who gave her methamphetamine. And once they gave her methamphetamine, that was it. They had a hold of her to convince her that it was okay at 13, 14 years old to run around in the community and rob people's purses. grab the purse from the person, run away, open up the purse, and the woman had her own kids doing that as they were recruiting little kids like Sierra. It took me a while to figure this shit out, people. Right? Telling the kids, yeah, run, grab the purse, run. When you get to what you know, where you can open up the purse, look for the credit cards. Throw away the purse. That was a mother teaching her own kids who were addicted to methamphetamine because she was feeding them methamphetamine right along with any other kid in the neighborhood that she could rope into her little gang of hoodlums. Okay? That's what got Sierra addicted to methamphetamine. And when I called the cops when she was 14 years old to try and get, and I've said this before on my videos, when I tried to get her out of that woman's house, because the woman refused to open the door and let me get my daughter out of that freaking shack of kids, methamphetamine, there was probably crack in there too, with freaking kids. Oh, cops, they enabled it, people. I'm sorry, we can't go in there and take out Sierra. She's 14 years old. Under the Criminal Code of Canada, it says, no, she can do what she wants. She doesn't have to leave the premises unless she wants to. And Sierra's in the background with the door closed. I don't want to go. Tell my mom to go away. They walked away from a 14-year-old that was being exploited by at that time it was a native woman, with her freaking kids, giving Sierra methamphetamine and teaching her how to steal. Okay? I used to run down the road at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, chasing a band of 20 kids. I'm telling you, between the ages of 11 and 16, 20 of them as a group, running around at wee hours of the morning with Sierra in that group, chasing them from block to block to block, literally running, people, trying to get my daughter away from that situation. But they taught her well, and I'm not going to talk on much more about this, but this is serious shit, and this is what I'm trying to tell Andre. You have to learn how to separate from, just because you want something doesn't mean it's okay to take it, because there's a price to pay for it, even if it's your own family member that's corrupting you, okay? Leading you down the wrong path, confusing right and wrong. Whatever it is that's going on in this house with this situation that I'm dealing with. Okay, so anyway, I went through a whole lot of shit. I started to know by 13 that she was addicted to drugs. It took me a while to figure out. I didn't even know. Like, I had no experience with methamphetamine. All right, by 14, she was refusing to come out of people's houses because they were feeding her drugs, and she was with a band of kids, and the handler, the adults that were running the kids and getting them to do petty crime in the community, as the cops were enabling it and not doing their job. And then by the time 15 came, when she was 15 years old, I managed to get her to come back home, and stay home, right, versus chasing her around, right? I mean, she was home, in and out, but, right? So, my turntables. That's when I lived at the shanty shack. This is when I knew that there was, it was more than just credit cards and purses, people. Right? But if you're not familiar with gang activity and handlers, to which in those days I didn't think about it, really. I just knew that my daughter was spiraling out of control and was addicted to drugs, and I tried everything under the sun to try and help her. Anyway, I was in that shanty shack looking after that little girl, Gary, right? And I had the one bedroom for all the girls, and Sierra's mattress is on the floor. Gary slept on the top bunk by herself because she wasn't my child, where Shimei and Tisha slept on the bottom bunk, which is my mattress that I still have since 1995, right? In one direction, where I slept at the end of that bed. It's a double mattress, curled up, their feet are this way, right? They're, Shimei's feet, Tisha's feet, I slept this way at the end of the bed like a dog, and Sierra had a mattress on the floor. Because I always encouraged her, you need to be at home, you need to be at home, you need to be at home. Anyway, you know what that little bugger did? And I sensed it. But I don't know how the hell she did it. Honest to God, I don't know how she found the time. I don't know how she snuck it out of the house, but she did. But I sensed it, and thank God I sensed it, people, because if I wouldn't have sensed it a day or two after she had done it, my turntables that I bought for park events, and I paid good money for them, it would have been gone. She went into the closet. I don't know where I was. I don't know where the kids were, but she went into the closet, opened up the turntable case, because they come in their own silver metal cases, right, to protect the turntables, took out the turntable, and we're talking quality DJ, spin records, those kind of turntables, right, that are heavy duty. She took it out of the case, closed the case up, put the case back into the closet. Now, this is a girl that was never taught to steal, but she learned this from somebody somewhere. All right? And walked off with my freaking turntable. How she did it, I don't know, but she did it. Because a day or two later, I just got that heebie-jeebie spidey sense, like something, is fishy. I went and looked. It's like that mother's intuition, And I went into the closet, and I'm moving it right, and I'm like, holy shit, this is light, what's going on? Little bugger, she did that, people, at 15. Because whoever was feeding her drugs, as I was trying to, keep her safe from it, was teaching her how to steal things where you wouldn't necessarily notice that they were gone, and by the time you did find out, it would have been too late. If I would have found out about that a month or two later, that turntable would have been gone. Instead, I said, Sierra, you go back to wherever you freaking took that boo-boo turntable, and you bring it back ASAP, or that's it. I'm on the hunt, and they're going to freaking jail for theft. And she did. She went back, told them what happened, and they gave it back to her people, and she brought it back. Did that stop her from stealing from me? No. But she never, ever did what Marina and Marcane did. And neither did Brooks. When I moved out of Wally's house. Okay, it's not what I was going to talk about. But anyway, this stuff is important because, new parents, they don't know what they're coming into if they come into this problem with just shit in the neighborhood. Because that's where it comes from, people. Not necessarily from the house. It's them being influenced from the outside of the house. And once these handlers on the outside get a hold of your kids, it is so hard if you can get them back. It is so hard to get them back. All right, but prior to that, I don't know what it was with the turntables, but prior to that, when I lost my house at Wally's house, and then I went into that that leaky apartment for 2.5 months, and then I ended up at that shanty shack. My kids were depressed, right? Like extremely angry, extremely depressed, because they lost their house of 8 years. Everybody had their rooms, and then all of a sudden we're living in a shanty shack with a landlord that was basically schizophrenic, and I took on the care of another child for no income. And you have to remember, I was cut off of welfare illegally. So that was, but it was a home. It was a roof over our head, right? It was a safety net. It was better than the apartment. Let's just put it that way. Well, anyway, when we got in there, of course, Brooks was 19. And in those days, that's when the government was bringing in, 18. He was 18. And in those days, he was technically still a dependent, right? But by 18, I think the government cuts you off of welfare. Well, I was already cut off of welfare, so it wouldn't have mattered. But they came in with that welfare reform from the United States of America, where they told young people, 18, 19, 20, 21, that you can't go on welfare unless you can prove that you've worked for 2 years. So here my son loses his house that he's been in for 8 years, loses his bedroom, right? Now we're in a, shanty shack, right? Things aren't the way he thought things were going to be. And I did have a few scholarships for him, and I did give him his scholarships, but he ended up buying some kind of a truck that sat in my driveway for, I don't know, couple of years. It never really, it was some big monster thing with these huge ass, I don't know, whatever. But before that happened, you know, he had a little bit of a mental breakdown, and he was on the computer and something was going on, and we got into an argument, and then, I don't know, he said, well, it's not like I have a gun, and then because we know, first of all, we got into an argument, and then he started raging. You know, and he took it out on my fucking DJ equipment. He grabbed my DJ equipment, and we're talking the heavy metal, you know, cases, a couple of them, right? He took the turntables, right? And he ran off went off into the streets, and he just threw them into the middle of the fucking street. I'm telling you, it's a good thing I had those turntables in those cases, because it was those cases that protected the freaking turntables, and they didn't get broken. And now one of those turntables is one of the ones that Sierra stole in that shanty shack, but she brought it back. The point is, my son did try to vandalize them out in the middle of the road because of, you know, he didn't qualify for welfare. I didn't have money. I was cut off of welfare. You know, he was living in a shanty shack, and there was an extra kid in the house, and, you know, everybody was, you know, whatever, and he just kind of had a mental breakdown. And so anyway, the cops were called, and when the cops came, because by that time he was in the house, right? And he was calming down, he was on the computer, and when the cops came, you know, they said something to him, and, you know, they hollered up, blah, 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 and he goes, well, it's not like I have a gun. Oh my God, people, as soon as the cops heard that stupid shit, next thing you know, it fucking SWAT showed up. Right? Because of what he said. That's all. Because of what he said. By the time they got to him, he was just sitting in front of the computer. He had his mental meltdown, and, you know, he blew his stack. You know, he was displaced anger. He took it out on my DJ equipment, right? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we didn't know what to think or expect. And somebody called the cops. Cops showed up. They said, hey, buddy, what are you doing up there? Well, you know, and they said, well, you know, you need to do something. And he goes, well, it's not like I have a gun. As soon as he said that, the freaking police turned it into a freaking gong show. They did, people. And they took it to the extreme. But that was the only time he ever vandalized anything. And even then, all he did was dent my case, my carrying case for my turntable. Nothing like what happened downstairs. Okay? Recently. And what's this arguing with me and calling me down? And, you know, even yesterday, you know, I said, you need better communication skills. I got good communication skills. I have friends. You don't. I'm like, will you just drop the friend shit? Like, people, I'm too fucking busy, busy, to have girlfriends running in and out of my house, and then having some of those girlfriends screw me over because they're jealous of what I have, and they start stealing from me. And it takes a while to figure out that your girlfriend is... You know how many people have come into my house and freaking stole from me since I can remember? Too many to count. Okay? Oh, we've been watching, you know, He didn't say, and then he brought up YouTube. All you want to do is YouTube videos. Yeah, well, whatever. I know the nonprofit is a flop. Never went anywhere in life. I live in a corrupt fucking country with a corrupt freaking political system in the province of British Columbia, Canada, with a whole bunch of hoodlums, white-collar criminals, those kind of hoodlums, running around committing heinous crimes against innocent families. At least I have the nerve to stand up and talk about it and educate other people to open their eyes and look around and be aware what's standing in front of them, because you might be surprised. And if it helps to save a family here, a family there, a kid here, a kid there, maybe an elderly person from being medically kidnapped, well then, I guess the nonprofit served that purpose. Right? But when it comes to anything monetary, you know, oh, forget that. Everything's on lockdown. The union owns half of BC, while the Punjabis own the other half. Seriously. As the Chinese are chipping away at it. With the Muslims in the background. Right? I'm just saying. So, this is, like, my son doesn't understand this. Like Andre is 13 years old. It is so crucial that he understands the boundaries. I'm talking about why I wouldn't let you go downstairs and eat. I'm recording. Why I wouldn't let you go downstairs and eat Marcane's food. Because I'm trying to get you to learn a lesson.
Okay,
yeah. Right? Like, I'm honest with Andre. Right? You know what I mean? And then, of course, Marcane wanted to bring Andre into the fight. So he's, you won't let him do this, and you won't let him do that, and you won't let him speak, and you. And I'm like, Andre, come here and tell him exactly what you think has been going on. Here, let him hear it from you. Andre didn't want to. I don't know what my son was thinking. Anyway, long story short, he left. Because, I tried to just not argue. I stayed as quiet, even though I hollered back. You know how it goes, right? And then, the more I stayed quiet, the more he gave up, basically, right? And he went away. Because he refuses to see it, what I'm trying, he just refuses to anything, right? For whatever reason. I don't know. Marina, I don't know. I don't know, people. I don't know if my son's taking what his position as a husband too serious, or if he's like, it's almost like he's been like in a cult. It's almost like he's in an occult. Like he went from one extreme to the other extreme. And it's not because he's doing it for himself versus being influenced by others around him. Who those others are, I'm sure it's more than just Marina, but she definitely plays a big role in this, to which she doesn't want to take no responsibility for. If anything, she's getting off on it, and that's just the way it goes. And if they're watching my videos, well, whatever. Go to the first one that was uploaded in 2009. You got about 2,700 videos to watch before you can actually judge me, being that you still live in your mother's house. And you brought a woman that wants to call herself an aunt to Andre, but doesn't act like a freaking aunt, never mind a freaking daughter-in-law, with any kind of respect. I did not create that problem. Fuck, what did I do? Spend tens of thousands of dollars of food so that when I die, you have backup. Like, shut up. Like, seriously, man. Be grateful for the things that you do have. And that's kind of what this video is about. Because, I'm helping Lady Jane up in her neck of the woods with a family, a single mother that lost her husband with cute little boys, which one looks like kind of like Kyrie. Honest to God, I'm looking at that little boy and I'm like, you look like my little grandson Kyrie. So cute, right? And she went off and I sent her a little bit more money, right? And, I told her to try and get some roofing for this woman. And whatever you can, a few blankets or whatever. Long story short, I guess she did buy some metal sheeting to put over the roof because it was leaking. And the monsoons are coming, the rains are coming. And they don't have a mattress or nothing. They sleep on a dirt floor. Well, my son's fucking going around doing stupid shit, right? Being an idiot. But besides that point... and apparently Lady Jane sent me an email and said that she even bought the children a mattress. Wow, isn't that amazing, people? Like, seriously. That's what I mean. You gotta be grateful for the things that you have. And that's also applies to Andre. You got a whole house full of freaking food. You don't need to eat somebody else's food, especially if you have access to food. More than you could ever imagine. And even if you couldn't, it wouldn't be that hard to go out and find a way to get it in a legitimate sense before you'd hurt somebody else to get it. Right? Because if he doesn't learn it at this age, people, over the next several years, You lose them. Because all it takes is a few bad apples in the community when Uncle Marcaine isn't there to protect him, or when his Nana's not there to protect him and guide him, or so on and so on, to say, come on, Andre, we're going on a job. Andre, going on a job? Yeah, come on, Andre, you just have to watch. You don't need to do anything today. You just watch and learn. And then they go off and rob somebody's house, come back with the goods, divvy it up, sell it, do it, whatever. And then, come on, Andre, now we're going to go spend our spoils. I'll buy you a hamburger for watching, being a good student. Do that a few times with Andre. Then they're going to call him on it. Okay, Andre, you go in. You know what to do. We schooled you. This is how you do it. If you want to keep with the clan, keep with the occult, keep with the gang, keep with the whatever, go prove yourself. You're a man. Your uncle's not here to look after you. Your Nana's dead. Your Auntie Tisha's too busy doing something else. We're your family now. And then Marcaine will be running around. Give me my nephew! Motherfucker! I want my nephew! Because he can't depend on the police to get him out of there. So yeah, shape up or ship out. You're supposed to be a freaking positive role model. I never had this stupid problem with you until you moved in a woman. Like, what the fuck? Sorry, what the boo-boo? So, basically, then the sink backed up. That's why he came upstairs. So I have to get Alex, Tisha's husband, to come in and rotor-root the plumbing again. And we got into an argument about that because, you know, my son seems to knows what it is, and I'm telling him, like, it's been like that since the moment we moved in. You know that. How many times have we been through this over 14 years? For crying out loud, they ripped, this battery's going to die, something's going to die, I got to go put this up and plug it in. You know, they ripped up the front yard when I did all that work, and I had to do it all over again. And after they ripped up the yard and I couldn't do the work fast enough, that's when they called the city on me and tried to cause trouble so they could evict me so they could raise the fucking rent. And get the new person with new energy to continue doing what I was doing. You know? But that didn't happen. I went out there and I worked for 10 freaking months with a whip on my back. Day after day after day after day for 10, 12 hours a day. And then finally they backed off. Okay? I'm just saying. So that my son or anybody could have a roof over their head in this house. Including Marina. Marcaine didn't do that. I did that. Okay? And, I told him, you know, anytime I have a plumber come and talk about this stupid drain that's caused so much trouble ever since I moved in, it's the fact that, you know, you've got too many things going down the one drain. Plus, it likes to clog up by the basement bathroom with hair. Not my hair. My hair's in a bowl over there. But their hair downstairs. It's just like clockwork, every 9 months to 15 months. I've been waiting for it to happen. But it was the trigger to start arguing, calling me down, saying I have no friends, and that, you know, blah, and a blah, and a blah. And Andre, after Marcaine left, I said, why didn't you tell him what you were thinking? And, you know, you see, Andre's learning here. This is good. He said, I didn't want to instigate it. I didn't want to go off on him and start swearing on him. Like, Andre didn't talk to Marcaine because he didn't want to start having to defend me by swearing at Marcaine to back off and act like a frickin' adult. Basically. So he just chose not to say anything because anything he did want to say was nothing but a bunch of whole cuss words. And I said, that's good. You did the right thing, Andre. You disengaged. Because I'm trying to teach him how to disengage from these kind of situations and not egg it on. Where my son is freaking egging it on. But he's being egged on. Because he's in some kind of, I don't know, cult. Because he's just strange. He never used to act this way. Oh, sure, he'd get mad and maybe toss something. But he wouldn't go out of his way to start chucking shit out and running off with shit and dropping it off here, and who knows? No. He had a level of respect. He actually cared about me. I told him, you don't fucking care about me, and you sure in hell don't care about Amari. The only one you seem to care about is Andre, and that's only because you can boss him around. Well, you're the one that's bossing him. You're the one who won't let him do this and won't let him do that. I said, yeah, well, why not? Because look what you're a poor role model. If you were Brooks, he wouldn't be anywhere near you, so what makes you so special? Just because you live here. It's like talking to a freaking teenager, man. That's a knucklehead. My son is 33. You're a man now. But I guess he's feeling insecure because he knows I can be a knucklehead. And it's not about me being a knucklehead. It's about me knowing that when on my last breath, Andre can walk away from bad influences, and I don't care. And I tell him, it does not matter if it's coming from a family member or your friend. Friends are big ones, right? Those you know, or just anybody for that matter, people. Does that mean Andre's going to make every decision wisely? No, not necessarily. But, you know, there's things, you know, right, you know. So when opportunity comes knocking, if you can teach them something, you know, just talk them through it. Talk them through it. So anyway, because of the pipe, I was in the middle of doing laundry, so Andre had to go downstairs. But by then, everything diffused because I went downstairs. I told my son that I didn't go down there on Tuesday because I don't want to get mad. You know, he told me he was moving things around, being my bitch, and I'm like, he says, I've been suckholding, but I don't see it though because I'm not going downstairs, so I don't know what he's moving around. But whatever. And I'm like, well, I'm not here to argue. I don't want to argue, you know, but I need to finish at least this one load. You know, technically my landlady should be paying a plumber to come and snake out this pipe. It is her freaking house. But I've been here 14 years, and I've done this probably 8 times. And whether I pay for it or whether I don't, right? Sometimes I pay Alex, sometimes I don't. They can hook me up with, you know, I'll hook them up with free babysitting for a while, right? So it balances itself out there, right? And, you know, it saves my landlady a bit of money because otherwise it costs her money to snake it out. And that problem's been here ever since I moved in. Had nothing to do with anybody or anything other than when the problem will go away when they finally tear down the house, because it's just the way it is. And so, you know, I had to go downstairs and face my son. Well, I got to do this, and it's okay if I have Andre come and watch the tub fill up with the water and tell me so I can turn it off because I won't be able to drain my wash machine all in one swoop. I have to do it in batches so the drain can drain slowly, and then I can fill it up and drain, right? So we did that. So when Andre went downstairs, you know, he's missing his uncle, people. He's missing the good days. You know, just the walks, going for a walk, and, you know, having a little cookout with the, you know, the hot dogs or the s'mores or just whatever, right? Just that kind of stuff, you know? Dinner, but more like just the walks, and, you know, dinner is last on the list, but, you know, and so he come upstairs and he said to me, Nana, I want to go camping. Because there was a camping trip planned before all this shit happened downstairs, right? And I was going to let him go, and then I said no. And then it was kind of, we're just on the fence with the no. Definitely don't eat the food. Not at this point. There's a lesson to learn. You know, things need to calm down. Things need to work themselves out. You need to learn how to be more independent and not let people use other things, whether games, money, drugs, right? Food, doesn't matter what it is, to manipulate you, to ignore bad behavior. I try and focus on behavior versus the character of the person in terms of, you know, this Marcane's behavior is bad. But him as a character isn't necessarily bad. He's just kind of lost his way for some strange reason. And I don't know what motivates him to behave the way he does these days, outside of he's being overzealous, trying to be the perfect husband here. I don't know. And he's taking it out on his mom 24/7. Sorry, Boo Boo 7. And then he says, I want to go camping. Nana, can I go camping? And I said, well, where did that come from? You know, I just sent you downstairs to watch the tub with the water filling up. Oh, well, you know, I like it, right? You know, it gets me out in greenery, and, you know, I'm in nature, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to say, so you really want to go? He goes, yeah. And I'm not going to stop you, Andre, because, you know, it builds memories. But, you know, you do realize, like, there's, you know, there's strife. This might be, you know. But it will give them an opportunity to talk. I don't know if Marina's going. I don't know. I think Marquin's just going for one night, and he's done that before in the past. So, you know, boys will be boys. I don't know. I don't know if she's going or not. So, but he wants to go, and I said, fine, that's fine. Because, in one sense, he wants to stand, and this is all in a space of we'll say within an hour. Marquin comes up, starts ragging on me about the pipe because he doesn't want to listen to what I have to say, accusing me of me not listening to him. And then he gets on the bandwagon, you have no friends, blah, 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 right? Or whatever. Turns into this little hollering match for a good 15 minutes, right? And then I say, Andre, because he keeps trying to draw in Andre, right? I said, Andre, come tell your uncle exactly what you're thinking and what you're feeling. Andre refused, wouldn't come say nothing. Frustrated Marquin, he finally gave up, ran off, right? I said, okay, why did you not go talk to your uncle? I asked you to go talk to him. You left him kind of hanging. I didn't want to because I didn't want to cuss him out, Nana. I was just going to come cuss him out, swear at him. And I just would have kept on swearing and swearing and swearing at him. I'm like, oh, so you disengaged from it? He goes, yeah. So he understands what disengaging is now, taking time out. So that's a good thing at 13 years old, don't you think? I said, well, good call. But you still maybe can go downstairs, right? I'll go see first and help me because, you know, I can't leave smelly Amari's ooh and yucky water sitting in a wash machine till tonight from yesterday. Oh my God. So I cleared it with Marquin. I told him I'm not trying to argue. You know, I'm working upstairs first, doing the upstairs stuff first, and then when I get down there, it's boom, boom, boom. And then we'll just see what happens from there. I said, Andre's going to come down. And he said, yeah, it's going to be in and out, in and out. You know, it's going to be a little bothersome until we can get this drained and rinsed. Well, fine. And the moment Andre went down there and the first time he came up, I don't know. I asked him, did you say something to him? Did he say something to you? He goes, no. I said, well, what made you think about camping? You just went down there to go check the washing machine, the tub, to see if the water was filling. Oh, I just thought about it, and it's kind of what I want to do. I said, okay. I said, but you do realize that, you know, Uncle Marquin will probably maybe lecture you. That's what Andre calls it, a lecture. Oh, Marquin will lecture me. He goes, yeah, well, yeah. It's like water off a duck's back. Andre's either going to listen to it or Andre's not going to listen to it, basically. I said, fine. Go ahead. Where Marquin's feeling insecure, thinking I'm going to keep Andre away from him forever. Well, that's highly unpractical. Doesn't make any sense. If he was an alcoholic, out of control with his drinking, perhaps. If he had a drug addiction, where it was clear to see that there was some major dysfunctional behavior in there, then no, there would be no interaction between Andre and that situation. However, with Marquin, I mean, it's just stuff, people. Well, you like your stuff. You like your stuff more than you like me. You love your stuff more than you love me. No, it's more like I'm 62. I don't want to replace anything if I don't have to, because I'm at the end of my road, and, you know, the times are getting tough, and, you know, this is not the time to be chucking out shit just because. And there are alternatives to more space in terms of you are an adult, you can move out. And that's just a fact of life. So at the end of the day, there are boundaries. And so anyway, so in relation to the video with Lady Jane, you know, this is a cakewalk compared to the people that she's helping right now with a metal roof to keep the monsoon rains away. And perhaps buying a mattress for teeny weeny little children that are currently sleeping in the dirt. Yeah. And buying a bit more food for them. Because that's how dire that economy is where those children live compared to the economy that I live in. Right? So with that said, I went off and I bought, oh boy, I'm so tired. Just a wave of being tired there. Ooh, I went off and I bought 10 more bags of those sweet potatoes from McCain because they dehydrated really good. I like snacking on them. Kyrie likes them. Alea May likes them. And I know that if I deep fried them, rehydrated them, deep fried them, or whatever, Andre will eat them, plus Amari. So I thought that was a good investment, and I bought them ASAP because they were still on sale. Okay? If they were full price, no, I don't think I would have done it. But because I was saving $2 on a bag and only paying $2.27 or $2.90, I was paying $3 a bag versus $5 a bag. I scooped up on them. 10. And then I noticed that they had pork on sale at $2.47 with their new flyer. Well, first of all, I decided to buy more tuna. Only because I knew that their sale was coming to an end. And tuna probably wouldn't go up for sale for a long, long time. And, you know, something's going on in Canada and the United States where our politicians and, I don't want to call them global leaders, but, you know, those types of organizations, right, that are trying to infiltrate our countries. You know, they're failing the general population with a reliable food supply system that's affordable, because apparently other countries, depending on the country, are doing a little better in terms of they're not, you know, they're not being gouged at the grocery store and, you know, having their infrastructures blow up, catch on fire, knock down, whatever. Not to mention ports being locked up and on backlog. And then, of course, you know, you've got the major weather events that are disruptive to ensuring that there's, you know, food in the system. Okay? So, I don't know, like, there's just too many people that are in the United States reputable. I'm not reputable. I'm just an old workhorse, right? Nobody takes me serious, including my own son, right? Except for maybe Andre. Andre's listening, so that's good, for the most part. But, like, you know, like just people, just all walks of life that are like middle class and upper middle class and, you know, the working class and, you know, they're educated and, you know, or have a good sense of politics and just whatever, right? There's just too many in the group talking about things getting worse, including my own son says it, with the economy and the availability of food choices and at what cost. So with that, you know, I just get into a little panic mode. I just get into a little panic mode. So I thought at 97 cents a can, it wasn't going to kill me, right? So I was wheeling and dealing and conniving as women do in the kitchen to pick myself up at least another 30 cans. For whatever reason, I got 34. I don't know how that happened, but I did. 1, 2, see, yeah. I think they gave me 34. Hold on a minute. Okay, I swear Walmart gives me rewards. They treat me every now and then. I ordered 10 cans of the chunk light tuna, 97 cents a can, right? 10 cans of the flake light tuna. Oh, and yeah, I am definitely going to open up these cans and I'll do the oil thing like I said. Pour whatever your favorite oil is, let it seep, put it in the fridge, let it seep for a while. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, that's going to be so good. Anyway, so 10 and 10, and then I ordered 10 of the low sodium, because, you know, you have to do in multiples of 10, right? You can see that. For whatever reason, they gave me these two things, which is 6 and 6 is 12, and 2 extra ones. Like, that's like 34 cans. So they basically gave me 4 cans free. I don't know why they do that, but every now and then it's like, well, I'm a big spender, that's why. I think so. Yeah. One time, I ordered a big the 35-pound bag of, the bag itself was like $36. I just know it was a big-ass bag of freaking rice. The guy comes up to the door, drops down 2 big bags of rice. I said, 2? Like, did they charge me for 2 bags? He goes, yeah, I know. When I went to go pick it up, they said, here. And, you know, they gave it to me to bring it to you. And then after he left and drove away, I went on to my, look, right? They only charged me for 1. And then I gave that bag to my son. Yeah. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's mad because I'm not giving him little things here and there anymore. I used to give him little things all the time. Here's some potatoes. Here's a cabbage. Here's some corned beef. He really likes the corned beef. Right? Just stupid shit like that. Anyway, so yeah, so I did, just because $1 a can, it made sense. And I'm sure the sale is over now. And I'm just, right? And then I did the sweet potatoes because I saved $2 per bag. I bought 10 bags, so I saved $20 there, and I know it's something that I'm going to be using quite regularly. And then, as I was purchasing these, I looked at this week's flyer, and they had pork on sale for $2.47 a pound, which is going to lead me into the next video. We know that I did the beef, and the way I did it, I liked it. So this time I've decided, I thought, okay, just get it over with, Judy, be done with it. I got a whole bunch of jars there that I'm going to use for some pork now. And then I'm going to try and move them and hide them away from me so I don't see them, because I kind of wanted to save them for recanning fruit. But right now it's okay. So anyway, it was $2.47 a pound. I ordered, you only allowed 2 maximum packages. It came in at $16, whatever. And then I ordered, and then the French fries, they had French fries again on sale to save $2. It was $2 a bag for 800 grams. $2 a bag, right? 800 grams is a pound and a half for $2. Pre-cut already. You can't even buy 2 potatoes for $1. Okay? I'm saying, so I thought, yeah, just scoop them up, because I'm sure once you dehydrate them, let them absorb on some sort of fabric or a paper towel, and then deep fry them, they're going to be good. Or bake them in the oven, either or, they're going to be good. You're not wasting your money there, and I can vacuum seal. Right now, I just have them in these, Ziploc bags. I put them in my bedroom, but since I bought 10 more bags at 800 grams, which will be a fair amount, I've decided, after it's all said and done, I'm just going to vacuum seal them into packages. Yeah, and that's how I'm going to store them. So I bought 10 of those at 800 grams, French fries. And I topped off with more pork, because 2 packages of meat, so I did another little order of just meat, right? Because I'm not going to put on the canner for just 2 packages, for 3 pounds of pork. 4 pounds of pork or whatever it was. So I did another little order of just another, but they only, I guess they're low, so I only get one of the one that at 247 a pound. But I bought pork chops, center cut, whatever, another package to compensate for not being able to get the more on the sale, because I'm just going to do like I did last time. Chop everything up, put it in the fridge, in the pot. I like a metal pot. If you notice, these are back out. As fast as I put them away, I bring them back out. That's kind of like par and parcel with my videos with the big pots. Anyway, when the pork comes, I'm chopping it up, getting it in there, and then tomorrow I'm going to do the exact same way, because I kind of liked it. I liked the result of it. I really did. Only this time I'm going to use pork. And I bought a ham, a small little great value ham for $15. So I'm chopping everything up. All goes into the one pot. Hopefully I'll have about that much after it's all said and done. Even if it's halfway, it's worth putting on the canner for that. And then I'm going to put water in it like I did with that beef with the last time I did this. Bring it to a boil. Just simmer it down, right? Not skimming it up, and just keep everything in there. And then jar up my jars with, you know, so much pork in the inside with a little more liquid like I did with the beef. And that will be the go-to for like pea soups, bean soups, that kind of stuff. I canceled Hello Fresh. First of all, they started charging me weekly. I didn't know that. I phoned them up. I explained to them that whatever you guys are doing is misleading in terms of your promotion. Anyway, I canceled it. And we don't need it. So, you know, that will come in handy. Because once this is all done and basically put away, because you know I ain't buying no more tuna for a long, 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 long time. Right? I'm either going to have a crock pot here. I have a, what are those things called? I bought it in a thrift store. It's brand new. I don't know. It's like a little cooker of some kind. It does different things. I can't remember what it's called. It could be a crock pot. It could be a rice cooker. It could be, I don't know. It does like 7 different things in it. There's a certain name for it. I've never used it. I'd like to use it. And then I got that other little thing up there that I bought a long time ago that we haven't used, that you can do different things in it. And that's what Andre's going to, so in a situation like that, that's how I justified it in my conniving mind. Well, you don't need no more pork. You got enough already. Yeah, but it's $2.47 a pound. Something's going wrong with the Canadian economy. It's not just Americans going on talking about how the economy is going to crash. It's Canadians too. It's people like Laura Lynn, Canadian prepper. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like my son saying it, for crying out loud. You know, if that's too many people saying the same thing. So stay the course. In terms of no regrets. Right? And this time next year, with the way my eyes are going, people, I don't know. I'm not going to be in no position, I think, to be canning anything. I'll be lucky to be thinking about canning. I'll be the one sitting in the chair giving the directions and telling people how to do it if they want to do it. Yeah. And hopefully by then, Andre will know a little sense of it, because I'm hoping that I can do, you know, tomatoes in the summertime. And I need to repurpose my canned fruit and put them into jars so that they can stay long term. Okay, so I'm going to end this video because this is probably going to kick out here pretty soon. And I just wanted to touch base on, you know, like I can't imagine these people, families, struggling the way they are when I can do the shit that I do. Now, mind you, I'm in debt for it, but either or, you know, right? So, she's doing a video. I don't know if she'd put up the roof, the metal roof herself. And I'm like, oh, another woman like me working on the roof. Like me working outside with my leaky porch. Isn't it us, right? And I'm like, I'm already thinking about it in my brain, right? That might be a real great video to watch. Lady Jane putting up a metal roof on a hut so that the children have a drier shelter in their home, people. In their home. And she said she's going to try and buy them a little bit more food with the money that I sent her for the roofing. And, you know, I asked her to go buy a little toy or something, right? But she's thinking of bed because they don't have a bed to sleep on. So she's trying to buy a mattress. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. You know. Yeah. The next couple of months, I got some heavy duty things I got to do. Apparently, well, Amari went to the hip doctor. He's going to be booked into surgery probably within 6 months to a year from now. Oh, grand. They want to put him in a body cast for like 3 to 4 weeks because I told him he's so active. Once he thinks he can sit up and start moving around, you know, that's going to be a problem. And they said, oh, don't worry, we got that base covered. We'll just put him in a bodysuit. Like a body cast where he can't move for like 3-4 weeks. And I'm like, oh my God, like what is it going to do to his psychological well-being? And then it takes up to 6 months to 8 months to a year for the hip joint to heal. And it's not even a hip joint. They're just clipping, they're pinning the bones together. Otherwise, if I don't agree to this, I mean, he said it's not something that I have to do, right? I don't have to agree to this surgery, but if I leave it, he says it's just a matter of time before that hip pops out, and then it goes into, you know, surgery where he ends up cutting the bone where it goes into the hip. So the knuckle, right, is gone. And I said, well, can he use his leg if that was to happen? He goes, yeah. But they develop other problems, right? Like, I guess there's, you know, I don't know, something happens to the bone because part of it's gone now, right? This part that goes into the socket to here, that part would be gone. Whereas here, with this surgery, they, you know, they're taking the bone, putting it back in the socket, and then they put pins on it to hold it, and they hope that things will start to fuse back together again. With a 30% chance of infections. They have to go back in and do surgery again. No guarantee that it will last for a lifetime. Anyway, before that happens, they prescribed a different kind of foot ankle because of the one that really going crazy on him, right? And I guess there's a fee for it, like something like almost $500 just to pay for these foot braces because they're different than what they've been giving us. So Tisha offered to pay half, but she owes me money anyway, so that will help. And then I've got to do Andre's teeth. So I really want you to think about helping this woman in the near future, you know, financially, because you right, like, seriously, people, we're dealing with children here, and, you know, vulnerable women. You know, I'm not excluding the men, but, you know, family, you know, whether just, right, and they just don't have access to the resources that we do, you know, and you only have so long on this planet. Listen, I spent tens of thousands of dollars on a nonprofit that basically went belly up. Okay, $50,000 on the books that I'll never get back from the foundation because my government's seen it as a threat and did everything in their power via through their public union sector to keep me in check. But I had to learn the hard way and spend that money and do everything that I did. Well, Deb says, oh, you did a good job. Yeah, I'm sure at one point people appreciated me. But at the end of the day, you know, my kids resent me because I don't own a house. But I try to explain to them that even if I didn't do the nonprofit, I was not in a position to be able to own a house because I was impoverished. I had dependent children. Uncle John was blind, as if I could go to work and make, you know, $80,000 to $125,000 a year just to buy my kids a house. It wouldn't have happened anyway. But at least this way, you know, I can educate people on the, like Lady Jane. I'm giving her advice from my experience, from the shoes that I've walked in and things that I've come into contact with, and I'm just writing it down as it comes to... Hold on a minute. Okay, so we know we got the tuna, right? I'm confused here, people. So, I did an order... after midnight. So I could get my pork, which I'm going to can like I did with the beef. We'll do it again, only this time with pork. Okay? At $2.47 a pound. You were allowed to buy a maximum of 2. They sent me an email this morning, and I don't know. I'm confused. Like, seriously. I got it here. They charged me, see? Right there it says $5.40, 45 cents a kg. So that works out to $2.47 a pound. Alright, I got lots of jars. I got a day or two I can afford to invest into future pea soup or whatever I want. Right? But they sent me an email saying they could only give me 1. For whatever reason. And I'm like, okay, well, I can just... Because I thought maybe... What? Okay, I bought the 2. Oh my God. I bought the 2 last night before I went to sleep. I got up, and I'm thinking, 2 is not enough to pull out the canner. Right? You might as well do another order. This was before I knew that 1 was going to be taken away. So I did another order, and all I did was buy meat. Because with this order, I bought the meat. We've got the French fries here at 800 grams at $2 a bag. So you're looking at a pound and a half of already processed French fries. I thought I'd try the curly ones this time. Plus I got just regular fries, which is fine because they dehydrate really nice, people. Whoops. Right? And they're going to be going into the dehydrator very soon. So for $2, for a pound and a half of potatoes or more, I mean, you can't go wrong. They're already seasoned a little bit. They're already blanched. And they dehydrate really well. So, you know, that's going to be great, right? No regrets there. It was yesterday when I said I wanted more French fries. Well, no. It started with the freaking, what is that called? Sweet potatoes. So I bought the 10 bags of sweet potatoes. I caught an eye of those potatoes on sale, but I didn't purchase them. I just caught an eye on it. Because I had my eye on this. See how women connive? I had my eye on this, but I couldn't order that until after midnight. But the sweet potatoes I ordered before midnight because I wasn't sure if the sale was going to end at midnight or carry over as a rollback. So I ordered. That was it. I ordered that, the 10 sweet potatoes, a jug of milk, a few bananas, and that was it. But and the tuna, and I got the tuna, right? But I couldn't order this until after midnight. So I ordered 2 of these, and then I thought, well, you're doing another batch of sweet potatoes, you might as well snagging with those French fries at 800 grams for $2 a bag. Maximum 10 bags. And then this time, after the dehydrated, I've already decided that I'm going to vacuum seal them, because those ones are definitely going to be put away for a while. Where the other ones are just in a Ziploc bag in my bedroom. And then as things are clearing out, kids are coming by, or Andre wants, or whatever, we're going to be using. Okay. And then I'm thinking to myself, conniving, thinking. And I'm like, well, that's not enough to put in one canner. That's nothing. I'll be lucky to get 6, 7 jars with that, pint-sized jars, after it's all said and done. Maybe 8 if I stretch it with extra liquid inside. So at $2.47, why not get 2 more? And then I have 4 packs. Then it's worth my time to can. Right? If you're going to do it, you might as well do it, right? That's what I'm thinking. So I put another order in, not realizing that they were going to send me an email saying that something, whatever. They only charged me for 1 pack, people. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure. Or they charged me for the 1 pack and then charged me half price for this pack. I don't know. I'm looking between the 2 bills trying to figure it out. All I know is they gave me extra meat for less money. For whatever reason. Okay? Now these ones are at the $2.47 a pound. $2.47 a pound. But they sent me an email saying they were only going to charge me for 1. I'll have to double check on that later. Okay. All right. And then, because we know why I ordered again, because if I'm going to can, I might as well can. Right? I'm like, okay, make it worth your time, because this is the last time you're going to do this for a long time. Right? So, I ordered 2 more of these, not knowing that they were going to say they didn't have them. Because I think they sent me an email saying they didn't even have them. I don't know. Like, that's how confused I am. And then I ordered this to mix with this. And this one came in at $18.81. But that number's not even showing up on my bill. And if you notice, I had to pay more money for it per pound. Because, right, I'm under the impression, well, no, I don't know I don't know, people. Like, I'm freaking confused. Okay? Like, you don't even know how confused I am right now. I'd have to get a calculator out. I did calculate all the meat ones in terms of what they charged me. The whole, for these, for this and this was like $48. Because one of these packs they put down at $5.61. But that's not what's on the pack though. So even then, they gave me a deal. I don't know why they do this, other than I'm a big spender, and they know my shopping habits, and it's like a in-house reward. Because one time we got stuff coming in, and it was my order. Clearly, it was my order, but they put in like little snacks and stuff in between my bags. Oh, Andre and Leah May and Kyrie, they were in their glory. They got like these little crackers and little chips and these little dip things and like, just little things, right? For kids. So they ate it all though, right? But it was mixed in with my stuff. So it was done with purpose, and I'm thinking, okay, well maybe that's stuff coming to discount end, right? Like to expiration date. So, before sending it there everywhere, they'd give it away, right? I don't know. Either or, I don't remember if I ordered this. Yeah, I must have ordered this after midnight, not knowing that they were going to tell me that they couldn't provide what I was ordering for whatever reason. But they gave it to me anyway, because when these two and this came, I was surprised. I just know that I got more meat than what I paid for. For whatever reason. Not a lot of meat, just a little pound or 2 or 3, maybe 4, I don't know. I'd have to sit there and write everything out to figure it out to the penny. But, you know, this is what I was telling HelloFresh. I like shopping at Walmart. I do. Because I get good deals. And because I buy in bulk, people, it makes my money go a long way. Right? Because I'm saving 10 here, 20 there, another 20, another 10, another 10, a 5 here, a 15 there. By the time I'm done, I've done orders where I've saved over $100 off my bill. And I back-to-back them. Order to order to order. So by the time I'm done, I've saved myself $700. But then I don't have to go shopping for tuna anytime in the near future either. That's my last shop. And that's only because, hold on a minute. Okay, I don't know what I was saying there. So anyway, I bought the extra meat because when I did the order after midnight, I contemplated on the idea that 2 packs of meat at $2.47 a pound wasn't going to be enough for the canner. In terms of, I wanted a more full canner. Right? So I decided to put in another order. So I probably did that this morning. Yeah, I did that this morning. Before I knew that they were going to deduct something by saying they didn't have it. Right? And that's why I ended up going off buying that. And this to compensate for what was going to be removed, because I normally don't accept substitutes. But then you see, they know me too, though. Like, they know what I like, right? Like, in terms of meat, I'm flexible. In terms of, I am flexible. Because, you know, I'm buying in bulk, and I think they figured it out that I process it in terms of quote-unquote can it. Because they have phoned me up on the phone every now and then, and they will substitute something. They'll ask. Not always. Sometimes they just do. But whatever they've done, even though I put no substitutes, I'm satisfied with their decision because, you know, I need, if I'm going to can, I need a fair amount of meat. Right? So they compensate for that. I don't know. Like, I'm thinking they substituted something here. But then 2 of these trays are coming in at $2.47. 2 of these trays are coming in at $2.47 a pound. 2 of these trays are coming in at $2.47 a pound. But they didn't exactly charge me for everything full price, if that makes any sense. For whatever reason. I don't know why. But I won't know for sure until I calculate exactly everything. In terms of what's on here and what's on my bill, but I'm not going to because, you know, I'm happy with what I bought because, you know, I'm just happy with it. But I feel like I got a few extra pounds for free, just like I got a few, 4 extra cans of tuna for free. Just like when they put, you know, the little crackers and the snacks. They're snacks. They were snacks. Andre was going from bag to bag to bag, and oh, Nana, look at this, and they were like chili, like spicy, hot, spicy popcorn, and you know that kind of stuff, right? And these little dip things that Alea May and Kyrie really liked, and Andre was eating them too, right? So, you know, and it was mixed in with my quote-unquote order. And they put my name on the bag. Andre comes in, he says, here, Nana, the man gave me, he says, your name's on, it's for Judy. It says, your name's on the bag for Judy. That's why I say, when I get into Andre's business room, aka members only, right? Those books, those cookbooks that are tucked away like a dirty secret in there, Auntie Shemay's cookbooks, they better be where I left them, people. I'll be mad if they're gone. I don't think so. I mean, that would be a really low hit for me because they're kind of like underneath my rack that I have things hanging on, all my costumes and stuff. I know where they are, so they better be there. But yeah, I'm going to pack up a few bags of those books, and I'm going to drop them off at the distribution center for the workers. Doesn't matter who's working in there, just for the workers in general. And they can take a cookbook home with them, right, as my appreciation from quote-unquote duty. Right? Because they put up with me, because, sometimes, like, this was not a big order. These were just a couple of little bags. Sometimes I get, like, really big orders, right? But not anymore. I don't need it, right, people? I only did this because everybody's talking. Seriously, everybody's talking on, and I also bought this, too. Because I wanted to make sure I had enough for the canner. And now, because they gave me meat that they said they weren't going to give me, and charged me less than if they were to give it to me. Don't ask me how that works, but that's the way I'm interpreting what's going on here. I got too much meat now. And under normal circumstances, if I was getting along with my son, I would just give him a pack. But I ain't giving him nothing. Nope. Not now. Not right now. Alex, I was thinking to give him a tray, take home to Tisha, but for doing what he did, because he saved my landlady a whole whack of money to snake out that pipe for whatever reason, because it's like every 9 to 15 months it has to be snaked out from the moment I moved in. I moved in on the 15th, and by the 24th, Christmas Eve, the fucking sink backed up. Seriously. And it didn't get fixed until well after the New Year because of quote-unquote Christmas and the New Year. So we sat up here downstairs, no kitchen to do dishes, no laundry, nothing for like almost 2 weeks. And that's basically how I moved in with my family. And it's been like that ever since. Every 9 months to 15 months. Every year like clockwork. If it's stretching to 15 months, I start getting scared. Because I'm waiting for it to happen. Because if you don't catch it, it can overflow in the tub. Because it fills up in an old wash tub, right? And it just so happened my son seen it. And then he came up and picked a fight over it with me. Because he's feeling insecure because I won't let him eat Andre's food. Even though I got tons of food up here. So I was thinking to maybe give Alex one to take home, but I decided not to because I'm just going to process it all. And this will be the go-to for like pea soup, bean soup, or whatever. Anything in a crock pot, right? And I might take a couple and just throw them in the freezer just for, or maybe, yeah, maybe I'll do that. I bought this because I wasn't sure what I was, of what I was going to get. I didn't know if I was going to get everything I ordered because I got that email this morning saying, no, we don't have it, you can't have it. But I'd already placed the other order for those two. And then I don't know what they did here, and I got this ham. And I decided that I'm just going to chop that up for the most part. Andre wants a little bit for sandwich or whatever. But for the most part, I'm just going to chop it up. And then when I mix everything up, I'm going to just one big pot. I might have to bring the big pot out, right? My witch's pot, the one I really love, that pot. The one I'm thinking to buy one for my son so that when I die, he doesn't have to go running around looking for one after this one fails, right? But forget that. I will just keep using the one I have for now. And not worry about buying another pot, right? A big one, that is. Although I think I know where I can find one. I do. It would be in a Punjabi grocery store. Yeah. So I have a reason to go look one day. And I decided that I'm going to mix this up for the most part in with the pork as is with or without salt. I'd have to wait until after it cooks because pork tends to have its own salt, right? Like turkey. So I'd taste the water, like I'd bring it to a boil, cook it for a bit, you know, whatever, and then I'd taste the broth, I guess you could say, the liquid. And if it's salty enough, or nah, that's a lot of pork, I'll probably put in a teaspoon and a half, or maybe a half a teaspoon, or maybe none, because if I put this in there, I won't need it. And if I mix this in with all this pork, this will give off more than likely just enough flavor for making pea soup with. I'm just saying. That's what I'm thinking. So now I just created myself a whole bunch of work, as usual. I don't know why I do that. But yeah, no, I decided for Alex, you know, I haven't been babysitting, right, for a few weeks now. Because I told Tisha I'm just like really busy and oh my God, my eyes and whatever. And as I'm putting miscellaneous food items, like the beef and whatever, I'm right into my room, I'm having to pull stuff out. So, and then I brought out the dollhouse, so I had to move all my stuff that was over there that normally the kids wouldn't get into. I've got stuff that's coming out of my bedroom that shouldn't be here, but it's here, and, you know, I don't want him getting into this stuff, right? You know, because he likes to touch everything, you know? So, I told Alex that, you know, I will babysit for you guys. You guys go out downtown. I said, take my stripper costumes out and go hang out at the strip club, right? And wink, wink, and you be the bait, right? To get the girls coming to the table, Alex, so that, you know, they want to buy, right? Making a joke, right? But it's true. Dancers, they will come. If there's a cute guy sitting there, right? And Alex is cute, so, you know. And then, of course, Tisha will have the costumes, and then maybe we can liquidate some of them. Get rid of them. I don't want to say get rid of them, but, you know, move things on because I want to start selling some stuff. So I'll babysit, and the kids can have a sleepover. So they don't have to be doing that all night, right? They just need to go in, touch base, introduce themselves. Anybody wants to see anything, they'll see it. If they want to buy, they buy. If they don't, so be it, right? And then they can go and do whatever they want for the rest of the night. And do that for a few times for him helping me for what he did. Otherwise, my landlord would have had to pay $200 for it. Seriously. Yeah. I saved my landlord actually a fair amount of money, you know. When I do fence repairs, have Alex come and do that kind of stuff, right? I have to get up here and work on my leaky roof. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to end this video on this note. Okay? Because we know what I'm going to be doing for the next 2 days. So basically, I'm going to be chopping this up now, get it into the fridge, so that even if I don't can it tomorrow because I burn out and I get tired, I can get up the next morning and start early, right? I'm only doing pint size, so it's only a 75-minute dance. But often the time it's just the prep work, right? So I'm going to cut these up tonight and put them in the pot, put them in the fridge, and then plan on either canning it tomorrow or the next day, depending on how much energy I have, right? Because for whatever reason, people don't see this as work. And therefore, for whatever reason, it becomes insignificant and it opens me up for criticism. But when I'm listening to other people that are prestigious, diplomatic, professional, well-rounded, educated individuals talking on about the same crap that I talk on about, like, you know, we're going into a war economy, and there's going to be consequences around that, and the more that you're prepared for that, the better off you'll be, whether as an individual or as a family. Preferably as a family, right? Safety in numbers Well, I don't know about that anymore, but you know, there's no sweat off my back. After this, I won't need pork. I'm still open to buying beef if it comes on sale again. Not because I want, well, I do want it. Not because I need it, but because I want it, because I don't trust what our governments are doing with our food supply. Period. Never mind the economy. Period. Okay? And that includes with the criminals in the community, whether white collar or just a whole bunch of hoodlums. You know? Doing stupid shit. But yeah, I'd still go out of my way. Only two things would I go out of my way to can. Would be beef, if it's on sale. Yeah. And I don't mind spending $200, $300. Boom, boom, boom. It's done. And maybe turkey. But the turkey would have to be at like $1 a pound or $1.25 before I'd buy it. I wouldn't pay $2.97. That's what they're selling turkeys are at. Like $2.97. You know, they're maybe $2.49. No, not now. I don't need it. But if it came in at $1.25 a pound, oh yeah, I'd do it. I wouldn't do it for me. I won't be around to see it when it gets eaten up, more than likely. But you know, stuff like that can sit in a jar for a long time. You might get a jar popping here and you might get a jar popping there, but for the most part, most of them don't, as long as you look after them properly and you store them properly. And as for stuff like this, I wouldn't even attempt to try and can my own tuna. I don't need to. But I am actually, honestly, since I've done this little bout with this tuna, I am kind of looking forward to opening up this can. I will drink the liquid with or without salt. It doesn't matter to me. I like that kind of stuff. Also, too, when you're cooking fish and stuff, some of the nutrients obviously go into the liquid, so it's not like you want to waste it, right? So, and then after I drained it, more than likely drank the water that it was canned in, I'd take that, put that in a nice little bowl, pour a little bit of oil on it, whether it's avocado oil, olive oil, whatever oil you want, and then I'd cover it up. I'd put it in the fridge and I'd let it seep, let it get nice and cold, and then I'd taste it, and then I'd decide what I'd do with it after the fact. And I can almost guarantee you it will be so good. And it's pennies on the dollar, people. And something like this will last 10 years, 15 years, or more. As long as you put it away nice so it doesn't rust away or get damaged. Yeah. So I think we're going to be eating more tuna in the house soon. If we're not putting it in sushi, we'll be eating it in salads and stuff. I'll get more creative with it. I have to sneak it in with Amari. Alright, so now I'm going to have to get on with this. And then I'm thinking, okay, you need to move those jars out of sight, out of mind. I was so close to putting this canner away in the playroom, just out of sight, out of mind. I didn't make it. I got a whole whack of jars sitting up over there. I need them for fruit that's in a can. I have to recan that, but I don't have time right now. But I got enough that I can spare for this. And then I wouldn't mind moving those. Maybe after I finish with the basement, maybe I can sneak them into the other bedroom there. And when I'm ready to do the fruit, then I'll pull them out. But I'm going to just show you my porch here for a minute, and then I'm going to end this video, okay? So hold on. Well, you can see the rain came. You can hear it. You can see the water dripping in there. It's not raining very hard right now, but clearly that's already starting to fill up. I mean, like, come on, people. Look at this. That's why I'm helping out Lady Jane. Okay. With that woman with her 2 children and 3 children. I don't know how many children she has, but they look like my little grandson, one of them. So cute. Okay? It's no way to live with a leaky roof with children in the house sleeping on a dirt floor. Right? Okay? Like, seriously, the problems we have in Canada is nothing compared to that. Okay, I'm like extremely confused here. I'm gonna start doing this meat. Work fast! I went back and I tried to look at whatever they did there, and I'm like completely lost for words. So what I'm gonna do is I'm curious to know, you know, I did buy things that are different price per pound, but by doing it this way, I am going to save these little things, and then later on, when I have more time.
Whatever it was.
What's that?
That was like clogging up that drain.
Mm-hmm.
It really stinks.
Well, I don't know what it is. They're the ones that are doing all kinds of crazy crap down there with the fabric and the Marcane with the wood and his clothes, and I don't know. I don't know what to say. She's been washing moldy, not moldy, large amounts of fat. She's been washing large amounts of fat, but it wouldn't matter what she was washing anyway, people, because there's a problem with the pipe. So I'm not blaming her for it. But whatever was there was accumulating over a period of time, like it always does within a 9-month, 15-month period. And because she's been washing fabric that was sitting with mothballs, that would attach itself to whatever was building up in the pipe, because I have to snake it out every 9 months to 15 months like clockwork. I've been here 14 years, so it's been snaked out at least 10 times. You do the math on that one. Okay, so I'm going to just save these things in the order that they came in, and then when I have time, that's when I'll look at the Andre, can you talk quiet? That's when I'll look at the receipts, like whatever they're charging me, because I don't know. I just know that some of the things aren't matching up. It looks like I got a bit of a discount for whatever reason. How much of a discount? I don't know. I won't know until I actually do the numbers on it. But, you know, it's hard for me to see, right? People, and my eyes are really, 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 really bothering me. Like, I don't know what this doctor did to my eyes. Ain't no pair of glasses is going to make my eyes any better. No, he should never have changed my cataract. I don't know. Okay, I can't think about that. So for the first 3 packs, I got that there, and then whatever, I paid $15 for this. So that bill itself with the 4 pieces of meat, and that's basically all I bought this morning, right, was just so that I can, okay? Because I'm thinking about pea soup and that kind of stuff, right, in a crock pot, all right? Easy peasy. That was only $47 in total. And then, of course, $6 for delivery, right? Normally we tip at the door. I don't tip online. I normally tip at the door. We didn't tip with this because they're just such small orders, and I'm always tipping. So, next time. Other than that, the bill itself was $54 for 3 trays of meat and the ham. That's not bad. See, I can't wear stuff like this and cut. Like, I'd have to, like, go real close. That's just stupid, man. The weather is warming up. Soon I'll be going out with Amari and Andre See, I can see there's fat on there, but I can't really see it. Now, some of these I could freeze, maybe. Oh my God. See, that's what I mean. I'm not going to be able to do this soon. Unless somebody's in here doing some of it with me, because I can't see I can't, my eyes can't separate. I can kind of see the fat line on it. Oops, sorry. There seems to be a fair amount, but who knows? But they're not all like that. These are nice. I want these breaded. I want these breaded. Like I said, I might actually freeze a few of these. This breaded in the oven. Oh my God, that would be good. So maybe we'll wait on those ones. Why don't we wait on that one? These ones are better. See, I can just cut those up as is. So anyway, I'm gonna just try and figure out what I paid per pound per order. You know how I did the vegetable kind of thing? I bought all those frozen vegetables. I worked it down to what, $1.49 a pound? Which was pretty good, considering all things said, right? So hold on. Okay, I don't know how much hard disk space is left, or battery, right? But do you know what going blind is like, honestly? In terms of, like, you know, you wish you can change it, right? You wish you could get your eyesight back and be like the good old days. You wish you could do something to do that, to make it happen. But of course your, you know, brain tells you that's not going to happen. And that, you know, you got to be brave, right? And just face it, because first of all, you're not the only one. And, you know, you can't stop, I guess you can say, life. And of course, you know, I try not to feel sorry for myself, because I do feel like I got cheated in life. Kind of feels like being on death row, really, because your time is coming to an end. You just don't know exactly when they're going to call you for that. Right. But you know it's just a matter of time. It's not like you can escape. You see, that's the thing. You can't escape. And, you know, it's like, it's rough. Like, it's really rough, because, you know, like, you watch me, people. I got a lot of freaking energy left in me. I'm not gonna, what am I gonna be like? It's like my landlady. Oh, if you go blind, you'll be useless. That's what she told me. Well, first of all, if I go blind, it's not like I can stop it. Right? Don't blame me for that. You know? It's not my fault I went blind. I didn't ask to have glaucoma. I don't even know why I have it. Statistically, as a Caucasian, I'm not supposed to have it. But for whatever reason, I do. And, you know, this doctor, like seriously, he's getting paid to lie to me. You know, like, I do feel like there's something wrong with this cataract. He said, when he looked at it, that, it, you know, he wants me to use these teardrops. I've been trying to use them, but they don't help, because the cataract itself has the surface of a moon. Well, what's that supposed to mean? Right? You know, maybe that's why my eyes are gotten worse, because of the cataract lens itself. Is maybe something wrong with it. You know? It's like stupid. And I'm managing right now only because I'm an experienced homemaker, I guess you could say. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking off the little bit of fat that I can see on these things, which is not that hard at this point, other than it's depressing, because, you know, I'm struggling to see, right? And as I struggle to see, that's when you start thinking, oh, I wish I could do something to change it. What can I do to change it? What can I do to get my eyesight back? Right? How long is it going to be like this before I don't have any eyesight? Because it seems to me like it's getting worse and worse and worse, faster and faster and faster. As this eye doctor is trying to tell me, oh, don't worry, you'll be seeing for a long time. I'm like, I don't know how that's even freaking possible for you to even say such a thing. You know, if you had any magic tricks up your sleeve, I'm sure I would have seen them by now. And as it is, I'm seeing less and less. And he wants to operate on this eye now. Okay. And this one still hurts. They come in from the top up in here. And it's still sensitive. And it's been a year, people. Maybe that's why my eye is getting worse. Because there's something going on with what he did. It shouldn't be hurting up there anymore. And now I'm afraid to do this side. I'll have two eyes that hurt. Like, okay. As you're telling me that you're making it so I can see? Yeah, right. I don't see very well anymore. It's pathetic. And the more and more I become victim to that circumstance, the more the bullies come out, people. And they take it for granted and they use it as to their advantage to hurt me. So not only am I on death row, but I'm being tortured while I'm in there. Waiting for my execution date. And there is no stay. I'll never get my eyesight back. Never. Never. I tell myself that every day. Don't wish. Some things you just can't wish for. You know when I will see clearly? I already know when I will see clearly. It's on the day that I go towards Shimei and Uncle John and Sierra. That's the day I will be able to see like I used to see. Yep. I have to wait for that before I can see anything anymore. Yeah. So we got one tray almost done here. Now I'm just going to keep doing this until I'm satisfied with what I've got inside the pot. So hold on. You see, I feel like my son wants to get rid of me and Amari. That's what my dream told me, people. Remember? I had a black ring around my iris. Everything was white. In other words, blind. But I was standing near a room where he wanted to basically lock me into it that he had built. As he was building another room to lock somebody else up in it. But yet he was kind of standing far away in that line of a whole bunch of men facing the opposite direction as I was trying to get his attention to try and talk to him. But he was ignoring me because he was zombified with whatever it was that he was doing with that. There was a whole bunch of men just standing in line looking off into the yonder, and he had already determined that I was going to be locked up in the rooms. One for me, and he was working on another room. Obviously that'd be for Amari, because we're the two that are the most dependent and vulnerable. And it just the way he carries on, and just, I don't know, he's conniving and sneaking around, and, you know, he got home and didn't ask Andre about if the sink is working. You know, he didn't say thank Nana that Alex came by to fix it, and, you know, he just making his plans to do this and do that with Andre. Everything's about Andre. And fuck Mom. Fuck Amari. I called him on it yesterday, people. I said, you don't care about me, and you sure in the heck don't care about Amari. Like, what's your infatuation with Andre? It's because he can move around and you can just whatever? Like, fuck that. There's no way to live, people. Like, seriously.
I'm doing this for what? Andre? As if Marcaine would let Andre have it? Yeah, okay. Before Marcaine would let Andre have it, he would say, "No, Andre, you're just Nana's grandson. I'm her son. I'm going to take it. I will deal with it. It's mine." When I can't see anymore and he's going to find some place to lock me up in, and I may or may not be with Amari. Hard to say. Yeah. It's bullshit. He doesn't value this. I'm a useless bum, remember? Where does that come from? Not so useless with you still living in my house as a child. Whether you're an adult one or not, doesn't matter. I'm your mother. I gave birth to you. The least you could have done was brought home somebody that would be respectful to me outside of a repeat of an Austin and a Julian. It's dumb. It's dumb. Like I told you, I'm on death row. Yeah. I'm fucking death row. That's a hard pill to swallow. Do you know how easy it is just to lay down and close my eyes and rest? Knowing that when I get up, chances are my eyes will be worse. To give me more reason just to stay there and rest and not move. That would be very easy. But I'm not doing that, right? Try not to. Sometimes I don't have a choice. I have to rest. All right. Are you talking to me?
No.
I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, I'm talking to online people on my Twitch.
Hmm.
Wink, wink.
I'll show you in a minute. You see, Andre has a sense of family. He doesn't want to abandon Amari. And he sure in hell doesn't want to abandon me, people. But my son will make him do it. Teach me how to be in the me generation. Go work for him in my son's business. Don't worry about Nana. Don't worry about Amari. You're gonna grow up and get married to a nice girl like me. You'll have a happy home and have your own family. Yeah. Because he asked Andre, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" And Andre says, "Duh, duh, duh." But Andre wants to be there for Amari, look after Amari. But Marcaine would never agree to it because he doesn't see it as a job. I told Andre, you grow up, you're going to be 6'2", like your father. You're going to be big and strong. You know, you've been with Amari ever since he's been a baby. You're the only one. You know everything about Amari. Right? Amari loves you and you love Amari. Don't let anybody ever tell you you can't watch Amari if you can learn to look after him. Do you honestly think that my kids, especially Marcaine, would support that? No, they'd put Amari in foster care or group home or someplace, lock me up in some old folks' home. And, yeah, right. Tell Andre it's not his responsibility before they'd freaking help. even though Andre's the one that has the stronger sense of what a family is. Yeah. He doesn't want to abandon Amari. He wants to stay with Amari. But he doesn't think he can tell his uncle that he wants to look after Amari because he knows his uncle will tell him he can't. And even if he could, it's not the right decision because it's not a real job. You'll just end up being a welfare bum like your Nana. This is the kind of shit that I have to deal with, okay? It's been around for quite a while now, in terms of attitude. Because I say to Andre, why don't you tell him? Tell him that you want to look after Amari. He should be happy. He should be proud of you. He should be offering to help you to do that so that you're successful with it, because he's sure in hell not going to do it. He's building a room to lock him in. Just like he's already built one and locked me out. Locked me in that room as he fucking got his back turned to me. With the rest of his friends. Not that I care about his friends, but he's not the only one abusing his parent. There's other men out there doing the same stupid shit. It's either that or they're all going to war in the next, who knows, maybe a draft is coming. Maybe a draft is coming in another 4, 5, 6, 7 years. They'll be going to war. Like they're forcing the Ukrainians to go to war. That's why they're all facing in that direction, in terms of a row of men, with the women and children locked up in houses, in rooms. You know. If I could run away, I would. But I can't. I'm behind bars, locked into whatever it is I'm in. At the mercy of somebody that hates me. Yeah, I think so. I've been calling them on it. Why? Why you hate me so much? Because your sister made a bad decision in a man that murdered her in the house? Is that my fault? No. You're mad at me because the housing market is corrupt and it's all my fault that you can't move or afford rent or afford to buy a house, as if that's my fault. It's my fault that Uncle John was medically kidnapped because, what do you call it? People wanted to steal his inheritance that he got from his wife. That's not my fault. That's Eleanor Gilding's fault. And the government's fault. The public union's fault. Oh, was it my fault that Andre got illegally apprehended after the social workers turned your sister into a hardcore junkie to the needle? No, that's not my fault. That's not what I wanted for Andre, for anybody in this family, never mind Sierra. Okay? But he hates me for it, people. Well, he's under some kind of spell. It's a spell. Looking off into the yonder with a whole lot of other men stuck on some spell, and he's trying to draw Andre into that spell, tell him that he has no reason to want to care about Amari and Amari's future, or looking after Amari, or never mind looking after me, considering what the hell is going on. Instead, he's got bigger plans for Andre. versus helping Andre with what he'd like to do, or at least try. I'm sorry, you don't stay with a little disabled boy for years and 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 be the only one who basically helps to look after him, to be ripped away from him and told him that you can't be around him anymore because you're incompetent. That's basically what's happening here as he ages and gets older. So I told Andre, the next time he asks you, if you think you want to look after Amari, let him know. I don't want to, Nana. I said, why? Because he'll just lecture me and, he won't listen to me. I'm like, well, you need to let him know, Andre. And if you're watching this, Marcane, welcome to my YouTube channel. As if you don't freaking know already, okay? Like, you're stupid, man. How many years have I been doing YouTube? Like, think about it, buddy boy. Like, you're the one that's the freaking drama king. Not me, man. I like to see you walk in my shoes, be practically freaking blind, with some freaking idiot chasing you around, harassing you, this, that, and everything else, just to hurt you. Like, seriously, man. Stupid. You breed paranoia with your own insecurity. Andre's not like you. Maybe he doesn't want to grow up and turn his back on his family. How about that? Where the fuck you learned that from? I don't know, other than you're under some freaking spell with an occult. And just because you can communicate doesn't mean that's not real. Because the way you act sometimes, I'm wondering about it. Like, are you even religious? Do you even believe in God? I don't know. I never forced it on you. I didn't want to tip you over the edge and turn you into a zealot. Go figure. Right. You know how what they say sometimes with too much religion, it can tip people over the edge. They become zealots and then they become paranoid freaking schizophrenics because the religion was pounded so hard into their brain, that as they were growing up, that when they got to a certain age, right, something snapped. Because of the being overzealot with it, right? It's bad enough I have to wait here from, it's bad enough knowing that, I don't want to say my landlady, but yeah, basically, knowing that my landlady is just waiting for the shit to hit the fan because of what's going on with me, how convenient. And then once that shit hits the fan, everything's going to come falling down like a house of cards. I don't know where my son plans on being when that happens. Just so that she can get more rent once I'm gone. Yeah. Same thing with my son. Once I'm gone, he gets everything. Except he won't want me and he won't want Amari. Everything else he'll want, pick and choose, throw away what he doesn't want. But when it comes to me and Amari, fuck it. And he won't let Andre help me or Amari because he's got other plans for Andre. Yeah. Just by the way he talks to me, people. With his threats and stupid shit when he's not getting his own way. Yeah. Anyway. I think what they did here at Walmart, honestly, They didn't have what I wanted in terms of, it would have been easier to cut. See, this eye is hurting, and as this eye is actually hurting up in here inside where he did whatever he did, man, it's been a year. Why is it hurting? There's no reason for it to be hurting. It's been hurting. I mentioned that a few videos back. But I think it's because a lot of these things are like pork chops and that kind of stuff, and that's why they gave me a discount. They gave me some kind of discount. But what's ended up happening here is I'm getting a whole lot of bones because I'm canning meat. I suppose I could try and can a few bones, but I'm thinking to maybe just make I have two choices. I can fry them up and make them crispy and suck on them. Oh, with some seasoning salt, that'd be good. Right? Or I can boil them, and then after I can degrease by putting it in the fridge and taking off the grease and using that as a stock, whether I just can it as a stock by itself or whether I use it for this when I go to cook this up. But honestly, I would like to just try this without any broth, just do like I did with the beef, right? Where, you know, I just put some water in there, bring it to a boil, cook it for a bit, add a tiny bit of salt, then taste it. And if it's got that just nice flavor, then leave it as is, right? Versus, you know, trying to get bone broth from pork chop bones. Like, no. I don't know what I'm doing with them yet. And then any bits and pieces of fat here that I got a little pile of fat because I'm trying to trim it off as best as I can. Because it's, you know, it's too fatty to be putting in jars, right? I have two choices. I can either render it and make myself some grease and have cracklings, or I can just keep it simple on myself, put it on a tray, like a little tray, and I have enough room, I should, in the freezer where I can just kind of slide it in, hopefully, and it will freeze, and then break it up into smaller pieces, because I'm cutting it as I go into small pieces, and then put it in a bag, and then put it back in the freezer, and then when I'm cooking, you know, just make sure you label the bag so you don't forget. What do you call it? When I'm cooking, I can, but that's a lot to be freezing. This, like, I'll show you. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what Walmart did. I think they gave me a little bit of a discount. I won't know until I fully do everything, but do you see? I just got a dirty hand here, so I'm trying to turn this around without breaking it. Okay. See, that's right. Now I could render that. That would, I still have a long, I got two more. I got that one. There's a lot of fat on there. And I got that one. Holy crumb. So I'm saying, I don't know how I got more meat. And I got all these bones yet. And I really don't have freezer space. And this is too fatty. Honestly, this would be too fatty to put into a jar and can it with bits and pieces of meat. And by the time I'm done all this, and if I wasn't angry with my son, honest to God, I'd give him some of this, and he can, because he's going camping, right? He's taking Andre camping. Whether he uses it for camping or whether he uses it for something else, it's no sweat off my fucking back, people. But I don't like it when people just take things for granted and just don't really appreciate anything that I do. And what little appreciation I do get, if I get any, is out the door real fucking fast, forgotten about. Just completely forgotten about. So why bother? Why offer? Those days are over. He told me he was going to take me to court so he could feed Andre dinner. As I'm trying to explain to him that I'm trying to teach Andre something here.
I already explained that to you. Like, what kind of son does that? Throw away 2? Keep 1? Oh, wow, what a great family, man. I guess you could put that one to work, right? You can't work me like an old workhorse no more, because my days are numbered. The only time I'm ever going to see something good and clear is when I go towards Uncle John and Auntie Shemay and Sierra. So where does that leave me? Locked up in some room, being ignored. With Amari. 2 peas in a pod. Yeah. And we've got children sitting up in Africa in a hut with a leaky roof, a mud floor, cracks in the bricks so that anything can crawl through. Yeah, and they sleep on a dusty floor, people. With torrent rains coming. Well, I fixed that problem. I made a donation and Lady Jane is making it work. And I think she's in there actually maybe putting up that stuff herself. I don't know. We'll find out. She said she's going to do a video. So the children's home can have a bit more comfort. And they can be happy and peaceful and feel loved and safe with their mother. Andre and Amari don't have a mother. They have a Nana who's been fighting for them ever since they've been in vitro. And my son wants to take that away from them. Just by the very way he treats me. With his wife. So much for a happy video, eh? What a joke. It's a joke. Like I said, I won't be doing pork for a long time. Beef, yeah, maybe. I could see it only because of the circumstances around the industry. Turkey, only if it comes in at $1.25 a pound. And that's assuming I can still see. Yeah. Talk about being on death row. I don't know what you would call it. That's what I call it. I'm being punished all the way around. Doesn't matter. For whatever stupid, sick reason, I am. And that's why it becomes death row. For being responsible. Making sure there's enough food in this house to feed somebody if things should go really south for quite a long time. If they're smart and not foolish and think it's old. See, I'm not up for this. Honest to God, I wish I could just say, Andre, take that down to Uncle Marcaine. he can eat it later, or he can fucking take it camping with him. Because I got 2 trays. Ugh. And these bones are piling up. This fat's piling up. This is not what I wanted. This is why Walmart gave me a discount, because I know there's a discount in here somewhere, people. Right? And this got a whole lot more fat on it. If I had more freezer space, I'd just throw it in the freezer, but right? It's not like I can go downstairs and try and get into one of my freezers down there without conflict. What are you doing? Why you want it? Now, get out and... Yeah, okay, shut up. So I got two more full fucking trays here. I should have gave one to Alice. Because now I'm losing my momentum here. How much do I have? But the whole purpose of the exercise was to have enough to fill up jars. But this is getting too fatty. Or the ones that were on sale had less fat. That's why I want $2.47 a pound. I'm only at 1/3 of the pot. Now, here's an idea. I could take a break for a minute. After these, I will continue doing what I'm doing. I don't mind freezing a couple of these. I'm going to try to anyway. Honestly, I don't really know where I can put them, because that freezer is kind of full. I'd have to go downstairs, but I'm not up for that. That's what I mean. I don't even go downstairs anymore, people. I avoid it now. That's no good. Now these bones, after it's done, I could put them in the oven in a big tray, degrease them, at least get them going, drain off the grease, which would be good, and then sizzle them up a little bit, right? And then maybe I'll just put them in, because I'm going to have a lot of bones here by the time I'm done doing this crap. And then sizzle them up. I've degreased them, sizzle them up, get them kind of crispy, you know, let them leach out some of their marrow, whatever, and then put them in a stock pot and start cooking them. And let them cook till tomorrow. Right? I kind of have to can this stuff up tomorrow. Yeah. So, whether I use the stock or not remains to be seen, because I can always just turn the stock into bone broth. Yeah. And let it cook a little longer, right? And then you'd have to still degrease it anyway. And then I could can a few jars of whatever, just pure stock. Because I'm not in the mood to be suckholing with my son saying, "Here, you want a tray of meat? It doesn't cost you anything, it's free." He's outside, probably listening, spying on me. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to get a tray. I'm going to degrease these bones as they're coming about. After the bones are ready to go into the pot, that's when I'll put the all this little bits of fat and everything into another tray, turn down the oven to 250, and let that just do its job in terms of rendering the fat, right, all night long on 250, so that by tomorrow morning when I wake up, I should have some decent pork lard, which will be great, and then also some cracklings. So what we're trying to do here also is get, for every penny that I spent on this, we want to get our most value in dollar amount, right, in terms of how many meals. How many meals can we get? I'll have to tally everything up, but I'm kind of busy and I'm kind of depressed, and
I might let that slide. But I always like to know, I paid this much, this is what it costed for that, I did this, this, and this, and then if I divide everything by how many of that, I like to kind of get a general idea of what per meal kind of boils down to after it's all said and done. For the most part, not as a full meal, but a supplement to the meal, right? Like buying food the way I did this with this pork. Like they charged me $57 for the next 3 things coming into the house on Saturday from Hello Fresh. I phoned up my bank. They charged me twice, right? They just finished charging me yesterday $57. I said, for what? Phoned up HelloFresh, talked to them on the phone. I said, forget that nonsense. No, I'm canceling. I'm not going to pay $57 for 3 little measly bags of, I told them paper. It's just a whole lot of wrapping, right? Paper, right? I'd rather take that money. I'd rather take that $57 just like I did today and spent $54 and got 3 trays of pork and a ham. That makes sense. But I also told him, I suppose if you're a single person or somebody that's really busy that likes to have everything pre-made, then so be it. I suppose HelloFresh works for them. But it doesn't work for me. This works for me. Okay, so I've done the prep work. That's 3 pork chops left, which I think I'm just going to fry them in a frying pan. Easy peasy. Well, that's 1 pork chop and then center cut. Whatever, I don't care. I'm just going to fry it in a frying pan. Throw in a few potatoes, maybe a bit of onion, some garlic. That kind of thing. This is all the fat. I'm okay with it, though, because I'm going to render it. And then I'm going to get some badass freaking crackling. Yes, I am. And it's going to be tasty. And, of course, the lard will be very good, right? And that is easy to seal after the fact. So what I'm going to do is how I'm going to do it, people. Oh, moving like a snail. I am going to put just a tad bit of water in there. Put that in the oven. This is the end of this video. It's going to be a long video. Whatever. I'm looking for the little pot, but I don't see it here, so I'm going to put just a little bit. That's a lot. That's a lot of freaking fat. I'm probably going to get, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Probably a pint anyway of lard, I would think, by the time it's all said and done. I'm going to put that in there. And then the bones for the whatever, pork chops and the little bit in the center cut. This is the way I've decided to do this problem. I'm going to put a little bit of water in that as well. No salt, no nothing. And I'm going to put it in there with that other fat. And I'm going to render out the lard, the fat, from that, the bones, on 250. I'm going to put it on 250 or 225, right? Probably 225 to start, for sure. And then we'll just see how it goes. And after everything's melted off in terms of the fat, the lard, I'll drain it. And then by then, those should be done as well. Pretty much, I would think, right? This being blind as a bat, you lose your balance more. You really do. Or maybe I'm just not feeling very well, because really I'm feeling so much pressure in my eye, people. You don't even know. This is where he did the surgery. I swear there's something wrong with it. After I seen him, yeah. It's coming and going. Anyway. So I'm going to put just a tad bit of water just to get it started. Put it on 225 to start it. And probably just let it cook all night. Pretty much. Until I'm gonna see if I went to bed late last night. For whatever reason, I got up early. Ordered more meat. No regrets. And got into this. Right? And now, so, and then in terms of what's going into jars, I have enough now, about a half a pot. Plus I still have that little ham, right? Which is in the fridge. I didn't cut that up yet. I'll leave that till tomorrow because I'm getting tired. You can see I took out the majority of the fat. Obviously it's in the oven, right? And then that's going in the fridge till tomorrow. Ideally, what I really want to do with that, honestly, is I want to attempt to do it the same way that I did the beef the last time I canned beef, which was just, what, last week? Where I just put some water in it, bring it to a boil, get it going, turn it down a bit, boil it for a bit, put in maybe a teaspoon of salt, fill up my jars with more liquid, obviously taste the broth, and more than likely, just by the way the beef came out, I'm pretty sure this is going to be pretty tasty too. Alright, so that's going in the fridge, and then after I take out the lard from the bones, what I'll probably do is try and sizzle them up a little bit, because by then the other fat will be out and be pretty much getting down to crackling, and you know, that's a long process. That's a 18 hour process, 12 hour, all night long. And but the bones, once the fat is off the bones, obviously that's my lard, that's going to be extra lard, cooking lard or whatever, and frying lard or whatever, right? And then I'm going to keep that tray in the oven for just a little while longer, more than likely, just to, I don't know, sizzle the bones a little bit. You know, make them, I don't know, maybe a little more crispy, right? That's what I'm thinking. And then after, I'm going to put them in a big-ass pot, and I'm just going to, you know, bring them up to a, not even, just get them simmering. I don't even need to bring them up to a boil. I just need to get them simmering, right? Put my lid on and let it simmer for 24 hours to make a nice, deep, hopefully rich pork bone broth. That's what I'm thinking. And then eventually, depending on how soft those bones come out, you know, I can make bone meal for plants. Give a few to the cats, depending how soft they are after that fact. But by then, the pork will be canned. So any pork broth that I'm making, pork bone broth that I'm making, more than likely will be canned. And that's easy peasy. For like a pint-sized jar, I could do a whole pint-sized jar, like a whole pint-sized jar. Sure, I could do like a whole, depending on, I know I'll get anywhere between 6 to 12 pint-sized jars with what I'm making with the pork bone broth, and that will be rich in nutrients. It'll be good, and not a single thing will go to waste. Nothing, absolutely nothing. No. That's the way I like it. When you're spending this kind of money, you're foolish to be throwing out the fat. Right? If you can render it, do it. If you can make bone broth, do it. If you can can it in jars, do it. And then that will be the last time that I do pork for a very long time, unless I want to buy it fresh so I can whip up an egg, dip my meat, right? You can bread it up with some breadcrumbs and bake it in the oven for something just whatever. But other than that, no. I got pork in the freezers, so I'm done with pork. Beef and turkey are the only two things on my menu when it comes to this stuff. And that's only because of what our governments are doing. Everybody's freaking out on the freaking internet. You know, one from the other to the other to the other, right? Talking about, you know, black swan events and statewide emergencies and, you know, and military having their exercises, doing this and that. And I guess the government as a whole, including governors, the state of Texas, that Governor Abbott is encouraging people to prep. Other governors in other states are encouraging people to prep. Like what I do, right? Where I'm like, oh, I'm getting tired of it. I don't want to prep no more, right? And I'm getting to the end of it already, you know? So, oh yeah, but I'm not done yet. So I'm going to put that in the fridge. I can't really fry the pork chops yet, or the pork yet, because I have to go into the bathroom, deal with the sweet potatoes, free up a few trays, right? Because they've been there since yesterday. I got this shit pretty mapped out in terms of budgeting my time from spot to spot to spot, because, you know, it's time consuming, right? You put in 12, 16-hour days with this stuff sometimes. But of course, I'm just a welfare bum. I don't work, right? Yeah, okay, whatever. Whatever. I tried to work with my foundation people. If my government would have done the right thing, there'd be a whole lot more food security in this province than there is right now. Let's just put it that way. But it's kind of that two-tiered system where, you know, some prosper and many don't. Right? But besides that point, so I just got to free up some trays from the big dehydrator, which is easy to do, because 2 trays will be done with my sweet potatoes, because they'll be done now. And then I did, I guess, 10 trays, 10 trays of the sweet potato from McCain, which, no regrets, seriously, they're good. I do highly recommend you think about doing this, okay? Andre doesn't like them because they're kind of crunchy. Interesting how crunchy, but they get gummy and chewy like a candy, right? Interesting though how he'll eat junk crackers though. Make no sense. I like them. Kyrie and Alea May like them. And I think they're going to store very well. High in nutrients. You can rehydrate them, pat dry them, like put them on a cloth or a paper towel to absorb the moisture. And then you can deep fry them if you want. Or you can even bake them in the oven. There are multiple ways you can eat these things. So if you find them on sale, that's the time to buy them in bulk and dehydrate them. No regrets. Same thing with these potatoes. I have to get these in the... That's what I gotta do next. And then eat and then crash. That's basically what's going to happen. And then pick up tomorrow with the lard and the bones and wash jars, and I'm going to can this pork early in the day so I don't burn out, right? Because I'm tired, eh? See, my son doesn't understand. This stuff takes time, and sometimes I do take these detours. Right, because when I told him I'm working upstairs between the 2 bedrooms, obviously I'm trying to clear out stuff in here a little as I go. But you have to remember things have been coming up, so it's like getting on my nerves. And I'm putting this kind of stuff that I'm doing. Andre, be quiet. in my bedroom. I'm having to take out other things. So when I said, after I'm done with the bedrooms, basically, I'm going to come downstairs, and I just want to get it over with. I don't want to be down there any longer than I have to. Oh, well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know why he thinks this stuff isn't tiring, what I do, or important in terms of the amount of time that you invest into doing it. Oh, these are good. Like, seriously. He just takes it for granted. But I don't care. I don't care. I felt this was important to do. I'm glad I did it. Well, I'm glad I'm doing it. So yeah, these potatoes, $2 on sale. 800 grams. That's a lot of potatoes for 800 grams. I mean, for $2, people. And same idea. You don't... Maybe after everything's done, the basement's done, bedrooms are done, I've got more time on my hands, then maybe I'll attempt to bake a bag in the oven, let it cool, put it on paper towel and a dehydrator tray, dehydrate them, see how they are, and because they've been baked after they've been dried, they were baked before they were dried, you'd be able to eat them as is after they're dried. Where these ones are going in raw, technically, even though they've been blanched, or whatever they do to them. I'm assuming they blanched them, though. That's still not enough. You still have to cook them some kind of way, right? Just to be double sure, right? Where these ones, you can take them right out of the bag. That's the sweet potato. These ones, you can take them right out of the bag and put them on your tray. Just remember to put them on something to absorb the initial oils from them. And there isn't really a lot of oils, but there's a tad bit, right? And they're so good. This time I bought bigger French fries. Instead of buying shoestring size, you can see, they're big. They don't really take that long to dehydrate either. So, I gotta do this as soon as I clean up in here, put everything away, get some freed up trays. I brought out my little dehydrator again. The one that got me into trouble downstairs. Do you see how I'm putting away, using? And we haven't even gotten into the apples yet when they're dropping from the tree. Right? That's when you want 3 dehydrators going. Right? It goes faster, it's better. And the apples aren't so apt to spoil. Oh my god, these things are so good. So that's the end of this video. It's really too bad. The end of my life, basically, has to be this way. All I ever did was fight hard for my family. Fight hard for my community. Fought for other people and other communities outside of my country. For justice, peace, prosperity. Right? Do you see? It's addicting. You're good. You're really good. You get yourself a little dip of some kind. A little cheese dip. You could make a hummus with some beans. That would be good. Chickpea hummus of some kind. That'd be good. Yep. You could even do, honestly, you could get creative. Open up a can of tuna. Where am I? Open up a can of tuna. Drain it. Soak it in some oil. add in a tablespoon of mayonnaise after the fact. With some kind of herb that you'd like, maybe. That would be good. I will do this again. Yeah, I really like these.